What has two thumbs and gets really tired after getting only 5 hours of sleep? This guy. Man, it used to be that 5 hours is like normal for me, but age catches up with you. And I know that's exactly why you tuned in to hear about my sleeping habits. But in case you're still interested in like mortgage stuff and real estate stuff, let's talk about it. And I will tell you, the content here is really, really, really good. I really think this is one of the best ones we've had in a long time. So let's talk about it. In short, rates still sevens. Remember, that has some point associated with it. You can see here for the last 3 or 4 weeks, they've kind of been going sideways towards the bottom of this chart. I do think that's going to continue to happen. My 2 cents, it says rates are going to stay in this range for another month or two. I think in February, with some inflation reports, maybe we get something better. Time will tell. Speaking of inflation, the blue line, purpley line, is the accumulation. Because remember, just because inflation comes down and goes lower doesn't mean it went away. Things are still expensive. So you can see how the 2020 on the far right, the grays are recession. You can see the little blip recession we had thanks to COVID. And what that did, and you see the red line just shoot up from an inflation standpoint. Now it's come down dramatically. But again, the purple line just keeps going up, but now at an accelerated pace. I just thought this was really interesting. And it shows you that things can be way worse. If you look back in the 70s and 80s, where inflation was, and that's why it's on the far, far, far left. See, inflation was touching 15% or getting up there. That's why your parents are going to say, remember when I had a rate of 17% for my mortgage and I was happy to get it. It's back then. And that's why inflation, it pushes rates up and down. So payroll, this is the other thing. So the Fed has two mandates: control inflation and keep a healthy economy, right? Unemployment. Well, these numbers just came out, and basically the QCEW is the real numbers. So it takes a while to get this, but basically what they're doing, the last line is what I want you to pay attention to. Supposedly for the year, Q2 of last year to Q2 of this year, about 100,000 jobs a month have been overstated. It's a big deal. So the economy supposedly may not be doing as good as we think. Because of higher rates and things of that nature, I just thought this was interesting. Mortgage rejections hit the highest in over 10 years, and it makes total sense. Expensive homes and high rates makes it to where not as many people can qualify. So there you go. I didn't know they tracked that. I mean, I know they track it, but I didn't know they actually put it in print where I could find it. Here is a graph or a chart or a map. Map's the right word. Looking for that. Map's the right word. The bigger the bubble, the more active listings for sale compared to a year ago. The green, if it gets really dark, it's more than 50%. Look at Dallas Fort Worth. Big old bubble, pretty dark green. Florida, my goodness. And so you can see just throughout the country what regions or what parts have way more, the bigger the bubble, the more active listings they had compared to a year ago. So Texas has a lot, and you would think, oh, this is bad and this is overbuilding. Yeah, but here's the reality. Watch this slide. The existing home sales have had a surge, right? Biggest monthly gain in 2022. A lot of that is because there are more listings. The demand is still there to buy these things. I will talk to more about demand and why I think that's going to continue despite having more and more listings. I think that's a really good thing. It just makes it to where there can be hopefully more homes to buy for the people that want to buy them. Dallas Fort Worth, that big bubble I mentioned, we are the #1 spot for investments. So DFW as a whole, not Dallas, not Fort Worth, but DFW, we jumped from #3 to #1. A lot of that's because our employment apparently it was boosted by the post-pandemic by 11% more employment. That's good. Our median house price up 38%. That's ridiculous. I don't love that, but it is what it is. And we have apparently 23 Fortune 500 headquarters here in Texas. So that's amazing. Or here in North Texas, Dallas Fort Worth area. Miami, Houston, you can see all the others, but crazy. Go DFW. Go team, go. Now, moving on, if this thing will actually move. Looks like it's frozen for a second. Let's try one more click and see what happens. Nope. Don't know why, but it does this, so it's okay. There you go. We're back. So renters versus homeowners. I've said this stat many, many times. Apparently, it keeps growing. The average homeowner has a net worth 42 times greater than the average renter. What I didn't know is in 2022, it actually went down. I did not know that. I knew 40. I've been quoting 40 for a long time. Apparently, it's 42 now. Home builders, post-election, apparently their confidence has gone up. I think some of that is the talk that there was a video I did probably about a month ago. $92,000 of every home is just dealing with compliance to get permits and all the other stuff that goes with it. So I think home builders believe that the starting in whenever the real government activities start happening. So I don't want to say January, but they see next year whenever Trump and his administration get in, they think the red tape, the a lot of the oversight, all that stuff is going to make it suddenly to where building will be easier and cheaper and better. Because right now it was over or close to about 25% of the cost are just going towards like permits. So it's crazy. So I think home builder confidence has risen for that reason. Zillow, I thought this was interesting. For those realtors watching this, if you use the term cozy when you're listing your home, it's up 35%. Though it might be a euphemism for just smaller house, because I know affordable housing is a problem. So they're trying to build smaller houses. Vintage style homes and libraries up, anywhere from 9 to 22% apparently. So cozy with vintage style home and libraries. Who knew? And then the really crazy, amazing, blow your mind stats. This is why I do believe housing is going to keep getting more expensive. There is a shortage. Obviously, the supply we saw earlier is a thing, but check this out. This is the birth rate per year. And you can see where we are right now. The average age of first-time home buyers is 38 years old. That's up. It used to be like 35. So now it's 38. It makes sense because, again, things get more expensive. People got to take longer to save. But it blows my mind that 38 is the average age for the first-time home buyer. And those people that are 38 years old, apparently, the median age, if you take it for all this, is 1987. So in 1987, you can see how many more people were born in the late 80s and 90s. They just keeps getting more and more people. So as they come of age, those people are going to buy homes. So the housing market, in my opinion, and from all the data we were seeing, home builders not keeping pace at this moment. So I do think supply and demand kicks in and it gets more and more expensive. But I think this chart is amazing. This one's super creepy and fun all at the same time. These are the government agencies. This is the number of civilian employees and the salaries by department. Check out the right column. Almost all. Well, okay, how about 70%? I'm making that up, but more than 50% have six figures in them. Department of Veteran Affairs, 105,000 average salary, average salary. Employment, 486,000 people. The highest one that I see, just looking at this now, a Department of Energy. If you work in the Department of Energy, apparently the average salary, I mean, people could be making more than this, $143,000. I mean, I'm happy for them, but that's just a lot of people making a lot of money when you consider like just even in Dallas Fort Worth, like Plano or cities like that, where some of the highest average household income in America is like $78,000 or $80,000. This is crazy to me. So if you want to pause, this is really amazing. The IRS, where'd that go? I saw that was a good one too. IRS, 94,000 people with 100 plus of income. So good for them. And then lastly, the mortgage mark meme of the week. What do you mean I can't get a refi? I have all the qualifications, but as always, thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Good stuff. Subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. We will see you next week for our Thanksgiving edition. But until then, enjoy your week. Have a great weekend and reach out to us. And when you think mortgage, come on, you know it. Think Mark.